From ancient temples to mysterious lost cities, these are the 11 strangest places in rainforests and jungles. Number 11. Tsingy de Bemaraha, Madagascar. Tsingy de Bemaraha is a national park in Madagascar which offers some of the most amazing natural landscapes in the world. The limestone seabed rose to create a plateau around 200 million years ago, which was little by little eroded by heavy rainfalls until it became the shape it is today. Tsingy is the Malagasy word for walking on tiptoes, and this national park justifies its name perfectly with its near impenetrable labyrinth of limestone spikes. It has also become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Some of the rock formations tower up to 328 feet tall, or about 100 meters. But these spikes are not just spectacular to look at. They're also home to a great number of endemic species who have adapted well to the environment. Most of the expeditions led here by scientists have found plants or animals previously unknown. Number 10. Beppu Hot Springs, Japan. Beppu Onsen is a group of hot springs in Beppu, Oita, in Japan. This city contains more than 2,500 hot springs, all grouped in 8 major hot spring areas called Beppu Hato. These represent more than 10% of hot springs in Japan, and statistics show that 130,000 tons of discharge is released each day, which is only second to the amount of discharge being released daily from hot springs in Yellowstone National Park. The most famous attraction of Beppu are the 8 Hells, 8 hot springs where water temperature gushes out sometimes at near 150 degrees Celsius, and different colors. For example, Umijigoku has a lovely cobalt blue color, but it is boiling at 98 degrees Celsius. Kamado Jikoku is flaming red. Shiraike Jikoku is milky green, resembling a Japanese Zen garden. Tatsumaki Jikoku has a spout that can reach 50 meters without the stone plate blocking it, but it is also the hottest at 150 degrees Celsius. At the end of the day, each hot spring is unique. Number 9. Wat Rong Kun, Thailand. Wat Rong Kun, better known as the White Temple, is a contemporary, privately owned art exhibit in the style of a Buddhist temple, designed, constructed, and opened for the public in 1997 by Kalermakai Kositpititat. Yeah, there's no way I can say that, ever. In the late 20th century, the original Wat Rong Kun was in a pretty awful state, and there were no funds for repairs to be made. So a local artist from Chiang Rai completely rebuilt it with his own money. The artist intends for the space around the temple to be a center of learning and meditation. Murals in the Ubosat depict demon faces, but also celebrities like Michael Jackson, Neo from The Matrix, Freddy Krueger, and the Terminator, along with images depicting how humanity is destroying the earth by exploiting its resources. There's also a presence of Harry Potter, Superman, and Hello Kitty, which confused the message somewhat. Number 8. The Goblin Forest, New Zealand. Pembroke Road from the Taranaki town of Stratford leads to the area of Mount Taranaki, known as East Egmont. A lot of visitors come exclusively to walk through the Goblin Forest, also known as the Kamahi Walk. This forest looks like a scene from a fantasy movie. It is primarily filled with kamahi trees, which begin life perched on the trunks of other trees. Their trunks and branches have grown through and around the existing trees, creating the distinctive twisted forest. Hanging moses, liverworts, and ferns have added to the strange effect. Mount Taranaki is an active but very quiet volcano located in the Taranaki region on the west coast of New Zealand's North Island. Number 7. Angel Falls, Venezuela. Angel Falls is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall, which descends from over the edge of the Ayuntipai mountain in the Canaima National Park. Local inhabitants named Angel Falls Kerekupai Meru, meaning Falls of the Water to the Deepest Site. The English name for Angel Falls comes from the pilot Jimmy Crawford Angel, who first discovered it while searching for gold. He later returned with his second wife and 2 other companions, but his plane got stuck in the mud on top of the mountain, and the group had to walk around for 11 days before finding another human being. The waterfall is 19 times the height of Niagara Falls and 3 times the height of the Eiffel Tower. It's been featured in the Disney movie Up under the name Paradise Falls. Number 6. Tikal, Guatemala. Emerging from lush jungle is the ruin of an ancient city called Tikal. This was one of the major Mayan cities, and at the time it was considered a political and social center. It's estimated that the population of this important city was between 50,000 and 90,000 inhabitants at its highest point. The highest building is the Temple of the Two-Headed Snake. In 1979, it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The ceremonial center has temples and palaces, and remains of buildings are scattered around on the surrounding countryside. Tikal is actually the best understood city of any of the Mayan ones, with a long list of rulers and well-researched tombs of the dynasty. Number 5. La Ciudad Blanca, Honduras. La Ciudad Blanca is a legendary settlement said to be located in Honduras. The great area of rainforest has been subject of extensive research for a very long time now, attracting researchers hoping to discover the White City, or as it is sometimes called, the City of the Monkey God. There have been many quests in order to find this ancient metropolis, but so far none have returned with the exact location of the city, or even much new information about it. At the end of the day, it could be all just a myth. What do you think? Number 4. Pantanal, Brazil. Pantanal is the world's largest tropical wetland, covering over 70,000 square miles, an area the size of Washington state. It is part park and part UNESCO World Heritage Site. Every rainfall fills the Pantanal Basin, creating a grand flooded landscape, but as the downpour subsides, water slowly drains into the Paraguay River, leaving behind fish and snail-filled pools that attract huge flocks of egrets, storks, and spoonbills. Some of the Pantanal's most lively inhabitants include jaguars, giant anteaters, piranhas, howlers, and capuchin monkeys. Also, green anacondas, the world's largest snakes. Even though Pantanal is now full of life, sediment cores suggest that between 13,000 to 23,000 years ago, the Pantanal was covered by a sandy desert. An estimate size of the world's wetlands is 1.4 billion acres, and even though Pantanal is only a fragment of that cumulative size, what makes it unique is its pristine and intact nature. Number 3. Mount Roraima, Venezuela. Mount Roraima is located in Canaima National Park in Venezuela, a mountain that is characterized by tall, sheer cliff walls and a flat tabletop-like summit. And it represents the oldest geological formation on the planet, dating back 2 billion years. Mount Roraima is a home to some of the rarest species in the world, and its unique relief makes it possible for waterfalls to pop up randomly on various locations, since it rains almost every day. It's also located in the same park as Angel Falls. The earliest reports of Roraima inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle to write The Lost World in 1912. Long before the arrival of European explorers in Venezuela, the mountain has held a special significance for the people of the region, and it is central to many of their myths and legends, like the one that the tepuy was a mighty giant tree that held all the fruits and vegetables in the world. Number 2. Arecibo Observatory, Puerto Rico. The Arecibo Observatory is the world's largest radio telescope built into a sinkhole in a mountain range in northwest Puerto Rico. The telescope's huge primary disk was used to discover the first exoplanets and detect organic molecules outside our galaxy. The Arecibo Observatory includes 118 acres. Its reflector covers 18 acres, or the size of nearly 24 football fields. It was built in the 60s by William E. Gordon, who was going to use it to study Earth's ionosphere. In 1964, it was used to determine that the rotation rate of Mercury was not 88 days as previously thought, but only 59 days. The telescope made appearances in motion pictures like GoldenEye, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it in a game or two. Number 1. Sigiriya, Sri Lanka. Referred by locals as the 8th wonder of the world, this palace and fortress complex is of immense archaeological value. The palace is located in the heart of the island between the towns of Dambulla and Habarani, on a massive rocky plateau 370 meters above the sea level. According to the ancient Sri Lankan chronicle, the Kulavamsa, this place was selected by King Kasyapa to be his new capital. He built a palace on top of the rock and constructed a gateway that looks like a huge lion, hence the name Sigiriya, which means lion rock. He also had the sides of the rock decorated with ornate frescoes. The palace also features impressive hydraulic systems consisting of lakes, canals, fountains, dams, and underwater pumps, which still provide water to the garden. Needless to say, it's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is supposed to be the 8th wonder of the world. What do you think? Have you ever seen this before?
Check out the featured comment below, subscribe for more World Unearthed, and I'll see you in the next video.